like I said, I grew up in a church background, and I remember after one service, I was like 12 or 13 years old. Same thing. I remember exactly where I was standing at in the church, and this guy walked up and he said, "Yo, you're gonna bring your family millions of dollars through music." And he's like, "Whatever it is, just keep going." And at the time, I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know who he is, I don't know what he's talking about, but it was planting that seed. So for me, it's crazy because I see so many producers writing me like, "Yo, I'm the hottest producer. Like, you slipping if you don't pay attention to me." And then I go and listen, and it's just like, "Yo, well, this isn't it." But I remember being there. We're feeling like I had the best thing in the world, and I'm just like, "Why isn't this working for me? Like, I know I'm better than this person, than that person." Um, but I think that was just being young and being hungry. And over time, the faith aspect had to tap back in and put into perspective like, yo, like, if I know where I want to be and who I want to be, like, I'm not going to focus on what it looks like now. Like, they say like to be, if you want to be a millionaire, like you got to pick up the habits of a millionaire. Like if you weigh 300 pounds and you want to weigh 250 pounds, you got to pick up the habits of somebody that, weighs that amount. So for me, I was like, you know what? Like, same thing. Keys comes from a Christian background as well. And it was like, you know what? Like, we have faith on where we want to be at in life. We know it's not there now. Like, we know our sound isn't there now. But if we stay, committed and consistent, then what's meant for us is going to happen. All we got to do is do our part. So for us, like you said, that 5 to 10 years, they say it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. Like, they don't see the mess and the messed up deals and the not getting paid that happened 10 years prior to this. All they see is this moment now. And they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. You did that song." And it's like, yo, you don't really know what it took for us to get here, So for us, it's always being willing to learn. Like, even now, like, we're considered successful producers, but for us, it never really hits us because we're always just staying humble and willing to grow. And I think in order to be great in life, you just got to always be willing to grow. Like I said, I'd be so all over the place, and YouTube is one of those things that I really wanted to get back into, but it's just been a lot. But for one thing, especially with overthinking, I always tell people like, we got to take the expectation out, because the expectation is what causes us to overthink, as well as lead to disappointment. Like, I feel like every producer does it, where it's like, yo, I'm gonna go to LA, I'm gonna go to Starbucks, I'm gonna run into somebody famous, they're gonna be like, yo, come back to the studio, and then I'm gonna get this placement, but then they're gonna want me to do the whole album, and then they're gonna take me to, and it's like you build this whole facade of like what you think everything's gonna be like, but then as soon as it doesn't go like that, now you're frustrated, now you're mad, now you're disappointed. So I think to avoid overthinking is really just understanding like, yo, when it's your moment and when it's your time, it's your time. Like, there was nothing special I did, or that Keys did for us to get this Cardi B record. It was just working and being consistent. It's not like, we did some 30-day challenge that got us there. It was just keeping in a certain mind frame, a certain hunger and a certain amount of faith that will, keep us going even when there's doubt. So like I said, I think it's just all about taking out the expectation and just getting back to you and focusing on you. I sat down with this billionaire one time for lunch, and at the time I had like $10,000 that I wanted to take a gamble on. I'm like, yo, I want to invest it somewhere. So I said, yo, I got this little bit of money. I'm trying to make an investment and just set myself up for the future. Like, what should I invest in? Like, is it stocks, real estate? Like, what do I do? He said, yo, you love music, right? I said, yeah. He said, invest in you. He said, you're what you know best. Invest in yourself. He's like, why go out here and take a chance on everything else when you could put that same money right back into yourself? So I tell people that all the time, and that's really been it. I'm just like, yo, like, if I really love this music, let me own it and act like I love it, you know? So yeah, man.